For this example here, again, we want to factor these terms, okay, to see what kind of factors that we're dealing with. Okay, and again, once we factor it, we'll remember to state the restriction. So 5x, x plus 2. Now, we don't need the numerator factors to get the common denominator. However, I should factor this just to see if I can simplify this fraction. Okay, so here I have x minus 6, x plus 1. Okay, so that's not factorable. Minus x minus 2, and this is going to be x minus 3 times x minus 3. No, I think I did this one incorrectly. This is the difference of the factors has to be 1, so it's going to be minus 3 x plus 2. Okay, so here in this case here, you can see that there is a common factor here and here. Now, if we did not factor this and we use a common denominator of x minus 3, x plus 2, x minus 3, that would be okay, but we're dealing with a much more complicated expression than we need to. It's always better to simplify the fraction first. Okay, so I'm going to make a note of that. Actually, before we simplify, state our domain. Our domain restriction is x is not equal to 3, negative 2. Okay? And we always want to simplify the fraction first. Okay, so in general, simplify fraction before you add, subtract. Okay, so here I'm going to cancel out those factors first. So now I can see that my common denominator is just going to be x minus 3 times x minus 3. I don't have to worry about the x. I don't have to multiply anything here, so I'm just dealing with a linear term. If I multiply by x plus 2 on top and bottom, I end up with a quadratic. If I didn't cancel here, when I multiply by x minus 3 on top and bottom, I end up with a cubic function on top, which makes it even more complicated. So there's a huge advantage into recognizing if you can simplify the fraction first. Okay, so this is an important point. So it's going to rewrite the next step here, 5x over x minus 3 minus x minus 2. I'm going to keep that in brackets because it's minus. We're going to subtract everything in those brackets. And we have x minus 3, x minus 3. Okay, so I've just copied out this next step. So I want to get a common denominator. So I need two factors of x minus 3. So in this case, my lowest common denominator is x minus 3 times x minus 3, and I'm not including that x plus 2 as part of my common denominator because I don't need to since they cancel out. And we've already stated the restriction, so we're allowed to cancel. So I end up with 5x squared minus 15x minus x minus 2. That's all over my common denominator of x minus 3 times x minus 3. Okay, and then combine like terms. I end up with 5x squared minus 16x plus 2. Okay, this is not factorable, so I'm going to leave my answer in those terms. Okay, so there's my final answer. For this last one here, we're talking about revenue and expenses and profit. So it says revenue of a company is given by this rational expression. The expenses are given by this rational expression. And we want to determine the expression for profit. Okay, so one thing we want to kind of understand about revenue, expenses, and profit is the revenue is the amount of money you take in. The expenses are how much money you have to pay out. And your profit is going to be what's left over. So the profit is always equal to the revenue, money in, minus expenses, which is money out. So to determine the expression for profit, the profit is equal to 500x plus 100 over x plus 4 minus 200x minus 20 over x plus 5. Okay, so I'm going to factor to see if there's any common factors first. So it's 100, 5x plus 1, x plus 4 minus 20, 10x minus 1 over x plus 5. Okay, so there's no common factors that cancel, so I'm going to multiply to get my common denominator. So this is x plus 5, x plus 5. This will be multiplied by x plus 4 and x plus 4. And then we just need to work out the numerator and combine the like terms. So 5x squared plus 25 plus 1 is 26x plus 5 minus, and I'm going to make sure I keep this all in brackets when I multiply it out. This is going to be 10x squared plus 4 minus 1, plus 40 minus 1 is plus 39x minus 4. That's all over my common denominator. Okay, the rest is just keeping track of my like terms. So I have 500x squared, and I have 200x squared there, so plus 2600x plus 500 minus 200x squared. And again, remember that this negative, I'm just going to make sure that we can see that negative 20 has to be distributed. That negative has to be distributed. So we end up with negative 7,800, or sorry, that's going to be 780. 780x plus 80, and then that's all over my common denominator. Combine like terms, and I'm done. So I end up with 300x squared plus, and that looks like it's going to be 1820. So 2600 minus 780. So it's going to be minus 600 minus 180. That gives me 1800 x's. Plus and plus is plus 580. Okay, and that's all over x plus 4, x plus 5. I forgot again to state my domain. X is not equal to negative 4, and x is not equal to negative 5. Okay, so I need to make sure I state my domain when I'm doing these types of problems.